Wes, this was one of the best shooting nights in franchise history. How did you guys just get on in that type of offensive rhythm?
You know what? I didn't know that it was that good, but 70+% in the first half is pretty incredible. And we talked about it at halftime. We're not going to shoot 70% all game. Still shot pretty well. That was kind of the messaging is don't get complacent with just making shots. We still got to anchor ourselves in the defense, make sure we're getting back. And we knew they were going to ramp things up. To your question, I thought ball movement was key. Another high assist night, 32 assists. That ball starts popping. We usually shoot with high efficiency. So credit to our guys that we didn't get too static. For most of the game, we were able to keep pace.
A lot of guys got involved, but what did you think about Brad's performance?
Oh, he was great. He was great. And honestly, he was great on both ends. He's really had two really good defensive games these last two nights. And aside from scoring points and facilitating and doing all the other things, he had 10 assists a night a couple nights ago. He's really locked in defensively. So complete game, and he's playing with effort. I think it's kind of helped steady the group because they know they're going to rely on him on both ends, and they can rely on him to not only score the ball but be a reliable facilitator. He's been playmaking, possession after possession. Really opens things up for everyone.
Wes, could you speak to maybe the intensity that Brad shows tonight? He's had a couple of really good games at 32 against Portland, but they've seemed like kind of more quiet performances.
Mm-hmm.
And had a little flair tonight, it seemed like.
That's probably a question for him. I mean, I like it. It's good to see, and I hope it continues. But I thought he took some contact and maybe felt like he got fouled a couple times, and that kind of adds a little bit to your intensity. Start to play downhill even more, which is great.
You've mentioned Denny's improved finishing around the rim. What has he been doing to kind of work on that? How do you get better at that? Is it just reps?
A lot of it's reps. It's reps, with certain footwork. It's reps versus contact. It's reps in tight spaces. It's hard to mimic in practice, the length of a 7-footer come in to contest a shot, but you have to kind of, find ways to create those scenarios. So when you do find yourself in those situations, it's just instinct. You're just reacting. You're not overthinking it. You're not surprised by it. And I think that's added to his overall repertoire, being able to finish at the high rate. And now, you get to the line, you get free throws. He's more comfortable playing downhill.
Coach, you had the big first half. They kind of punched back with the 10-0 run. But what was said to kind of get the rhythm and the intensity back to finish the second half so strong?
Well, we knew they were going to make a run at some point. This team has had multiple double-digit deficits that they've overcome. So they were going to speed us up. They're going to be more physical. They're going to do different things. We know they're going to try and blitz Brad at times and hit and trap. So being mindful of those things, and space correctly, make sure that we don't continue to turn the ball over. We had a handful of turnovers, but I thought there was no panic, which was good, and that started with Brad. As soon as we took that time out with 10-0 start for them, just like, okay, they made their run. Let's get back to playing our brand of basketball and settle down, and know that they're going to continue to try and speed us up. So how can we counter that? And I thought we weathered that storm pretty well.
And also with the deadline being passed, did you see guys just feeling more free, comfortable, knowing, okay, this is the group we have going forward?
Maybe. I mean, it's I think we talked about that the last day or so, and they're aware. So maybe there is that sense of relief, or at least understanding this is the group. So we, there's nothing else really going to happen, and so we got to pull together even more if we're really looking to make moves, in that standing. We got to rely on each other that much more.
And then who got the belt tonight?
Gav.
Coach, pregame you talked about transition defense, and coming into this game they were number one in fast break points, and I know you've mentioned before that you guys have your own system of measuring transition points, but according to the generic fast break points, they only had 12. What did you think about your transition defense tonight?
In general, it was good. There were some times where it was poor, and a lot of those were the live ball turnovers, you know, just, you know, maybe a little too casual at times playing in tight spaces. We got bottled up. You know, minimizing those situations, I think obviously helps your transition defense, but in general, I thought we did a decent job with our sense of urgency, our level of communication. The one area that really hurt us was the glass. Second chance points, you know, understanding that they're gonna shoot a lot of threes, long shots, long rebounds. At times our bigs are stepping up to help on drives, so you need those other four guys to get in the mix, you know, kind of collect some of those long rebounds, you know, drop around the free throw line area. Those are the ones we didn't get, and obviously they made us pay for it.
I think you guys are 12 of 13 inside the arc in the first quarter there. How much did that kind of set the tone, just in terms of being able to score around the basket, even given the shot blocking presence that they had?
Yeah, I think, you know, playing downhill with a level of aggression, but it wasn't on the first side. Moving them and getting that defense to shift a little bit allows you, you know, those seams. You know, we talked about keeping the energy in the ball, where we don't want to get too static, and at times, you know, we got caught over dribbling, but I think getting pace into our execution early in the clock allows us to do that, you know, and we were to get downhill and get to the line a little bit, but that opened up the rim for us, you know, and of course I think opening up the paint threes.
Any questions about it being Jackson's last game tonight? Anybody have any questions for Jackson?
Oh, for real? I don't miss you, Jackson.
We will miss you, Jackson.